So I haven't posted anything in a little while. I'll put another video up on that in a little bit, but I wanted to put something up to announce the Black Friday sale. I'm gonna run this sale from the time the video goes up until the Tuesday after Thanksgiving. So that'll be the Tuesday right after Cyber Monday. So I'm gonna do something a little bit different. This sale will be a 12% off sale. That's the biggest sale I've ever done. Usually I do 10% sales. I don't know if I'm ever going to do this again. This is going to be an experiment. We'll see how it goes. But 12% off of everything on the store. Free shipping on everything except for I think 2 items. And we'll see how it goes. Hopefully you'll get some things, some nice pickups that'll be great for you on your machine. I want to go through real quick some of the things that you may not know we have and some of the top sellers, so you kind of know what the options are if you haven't been watching the channel for long. So one of the big sellers and the first thing that it actually came out with was a drag chain upgrade for the One Infinity machine, and completely necessary if you're getting a water-cooled spindle or an ATC spindle. And these are the second version of drag chains and a couple revs on the brackets. These are 18 by 50s. They're big enough to support everything you're going to want to put on that machine at the same time. I've put every accessory I could really think of on this machine, and I still have a little bit of room left over. It comes with not only the drag chain itself, but also the brackets and travelers to attach it to your machine. There are 2 different types. One that supports the Foreman and another set that supports the Woodworker and Journeyman. They're a little bit different on the y-axis. So just make sure you select the right ones when you place the order. Another really popular item we sold for a really long time is these 2-button controllers. These allow you to put a park and home button with a physical touch off the side of your Masso. And these are a little bit different because they're magnetically removable. So when you attach it to the back of the Masso, it mounts on the side, but if you want to open the Masso screen up, all you have to do is just remove it temporarily, and then the screen will open up just fine. You don't have to get Allen wrenches out and disassemble the thing in order to open the screen back up. So this is a super handy thing. Sometime after we came out with that, somebody asked if we could make one that would allow them to remote the VFD. So we came out with one of those. So if you have the Deluxe or CNC VFD, you just pop that keypad out and you can stick it into here with essentially a Cat 5 cable that runs from the back of this back into where that keypad used to be inside the VFD box. So that's that. And very recently somebody asked, could we come up with one that had the ability to relocate the manual and auto switch? And we've done that. So now we have a 3rd version here that allows you to take the switch off the VFD enclosure and place it here. And of course you'll need the CNC extension cable to make that happen. Here's a VFD controller with that extension cable plugged in, and what you notice here is there's a rectangular hole here, and I could put the original plate back on there and it would still have a rectangular hole with this cable coming out of it, and I wanted to make that a little bit nicer. So what we did was came up with these little inserts that'll bolt right back in there. It'll fit in there perfectly and actually match the texture pretty closely on the side of the enclosure as well. So that just plugs up the hole. Maybe dust and other things will get in there. Plus, it just looks a little bit nicer. Now, if you're getting a CNC machine, one of the very first things you should buy, and what it'll be required if you're going to get an ATC, is a tool setter. This tool setter we've been selling for a while now. It's a 3-wire unit, which has some electrical advantages from a safety perspective. And this unit has an accuracy that is far greater than what the CNC machine itself is able to achieve. So this would not be the weak link when you are measuring your tool lengths. So this is a great option. It also has the ability, if you have a QCW table, to mount it right at the front of the QCW table, similar to what the One Infinity unit has. If you are a user of front mount dust boots or lasers on anything that mounts on the front of your spindle, you've probably run into situations where when you home the machine, whatever you got mounted that's sticking out front of the spindle bangs into your screen. And that's frustrating. I mean, that's the air compressor kicking off. That's frustrating when that happens. It always gives me a little bit of stress, raises my blood pressure a little bit. I don't want to break that screen. I think it's like $1,300 to replace them. So here's an option for you to replace the stock mount with one that limits the movement of that swing arm, and a replacement bracket that allows you to shift the position of the screen over a little bit so it'll be further out of the way. Then you won't have a situation where your dust boot can bang into the front of your screen or your laser can bang into your screen. Cheap upgrade, save you a potentially costly replacement. Now, if you've got a journeyman or a woodworker, the Z height on those is a little bit less than it is on the foreman's. So we came up with these blocks by request so that someone could raise their journeyman or woodworker machine to the same height as the foreman. Now that's not only nice if you want to have more clearance, but it's also nice if you want to use foreman type accessories, and certain accessories specifically, and I'll touch on that here. We sell a series of tool racks for the ATC. These are for the foreman. These are magnetically removable. You just attach this down to your table and this will snap right into place. It doesn't take up about 1 inch of the table width, and if you did want to reclaim that to cut a full 48 inches, you just pop this off and then you can cut. And you want to put it back on, it just snaps right back into place. There's no need to recalibrate anything. Now, we also sell these in shorter versions that are made for the woodworker and the woodworker and the journeyman. One of those shorter versions won't support the probe. The taller version will support a 3D probe, but it sacrifices a little bit of the clearance above the unit. So if you have long tools, that's a compromise you have to make. That's where those riser blocks can come in handy. So this is what the tool rack for the probe looks like. This looks like a single unit, and the probe just fits in there like that. And so with this type of setup, your ATC can use the probe. It can automatically mount it in every single time, and it's pretty awesome actually. We've got a similar thing for QCW table users. I wouldn't use these on QCW tables because you have to mount them in such a way it'll use up, maybe 1.5 inches or 1 3/4 of your work surface, and this is just a better option. Uses the same, about 1/2 inch or so of maybe it's a little bit more than 1/2 inch of the table surface. Just mounts into the T-track. And one thing to note is the T-track that ships in those QCW tables isn't actually normal dimensioned T-track. It's a little bit weird. So this is designed to fit both standard T-track and the QCW table T-track. So you just slide this in. There's 2 screws. You just secure it into place. And if you needed to remove it, you just loosen those 2 screws and slide it back out. Again, this comes with a single that works with the probe. These also, by the way, they come not only in quads, but they come in triples, doubles, and singles. Those aren't very often sold. Most people just want to buy the quads. It's just cheaper on a per unit basis, and that's the way most people want to go. I should also mention on these that these are much more dense. There's less spacing between them than the other tool racks that are out there. That allows you to put up to 22 tools on your foreman, and I forget the number is on the woodworker and the journeyman, but definitely more dense than the other options, and it'll allow you to put a couple extra tools on your machine. Let's see, what else do I have here? A couple dust boots we offer. 2 dust boots, which I think are probably among the best in the market. The first is the Big Suck. I don't have a copy of one here sitting right here with me right at the moment, but you can check out the video on that. That is the most powerful dust boot I have been able to get my hands on, and I've tested all the big ones that you've heard of. So that is an option, a great option if you are not using an ATC. If you are using an ATC, you could still use it, just like you could use a lot of dust boots, but there's a lot of trade-offs you have to make, and I just would rather have a dust boot that was designed for the ATC, so I don't have to give up. I don't have to give things up, and there's lots of trade-offs. So I think there's another couple of videos that probably talk about that. That works great for non-ATC machines. If you have an ATC machine, the Sidekick right back here is the thing to go with. Designed specifically for the ATC on the Onefinity machine. It will raise and lower as it needs to in order to accomplish tool changes, and then drop itself back down when it's time to get back to work and sucking dust. I've had a lot of success with this dust boot. Not only does it work great for me, a lot of people have now purchased it. I've had very good feedback on both boots actually. Both those boots come in not only 4-inch options but also 2.5-inch options. And one of the things you might not know about our 2.5, it's designed like this, where this this adapter, I guess, fits inside the shop vac type 2.5-inch hose, and you just clamp that on, and now you can you attach this, and then this will mount to your boot. This will mount to your boot, and this will mount to the hose, and then you can attach them and disconnect them whenever you want to. And we also sell couplers and other accessories for vacuuming up your table and stuff like that if you're interested. But one of the cool things I want to show here is, let's say that I don't have a 2.5-inch, but I want to use that smaller boot to attach to my Fane dust collector. So here is an option to have an adapter that will allow me to connect that boot into my Fane. It's designed where it's got those two squeezy rubber buttons essentially push to attach it, so it'll attach securely. And if you've got the Festool, here's an adapter for the Festool. So either way you want to go, you've got a couple different options to support you. And this, I think, does it for now. A lot of other stuff on the site, but these are the hot ones that I think you might be interested in. Like I said, 12% off of everything for the first time and maybe the only time ever. We'll see how this goes, kind of an experiment. It'll run from the time I put the video up until the end of the day on Tuesday after Cyber Monday. With that, I hope you get some great deals, get everything you're looking for. Happy machining, happy holidays.